Hey everybody, what's up? I'm just I know this is a really random time of day. It's typically most folks, it's if you're in Eastern Standard Time, it's like rush hour. Everybody's trying to get home from work. And so I don't expect there to be a huge turnout. I don't know why I picked this time. Actually, I do. Little Big Girl Farmer is asleep. Okay. And so I feel like I can get something done real quick. I told y'all that I'm not still not sure if I'm going to be available on Thursday to do a live. So I'm trying to get some time in with everybody. I want to spend time with y'all just in case I can't get to y'all on Thursday live. Hey, wow, there's so many more people in here than I thought would be at this time of day. Hey, Miss Craft, good to see you. Chickle Wise. Oh, well, hello. I think you're new to our live, so thank you for joining. And playing in my yard. Hey, hey, how you doing? I'm so glad to see you. M Langford stopping by but cannot stay. Got to catch carpool. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. I hope you stick around just a little bit longer. It'd be good to meet you. And I think, do you all do M. Langford, do you do content, gardening content, or what type of content do you do? Because I don't think I've ever met you before. And Chico Wise, if you do content as well, let me know what you do. I'm a beginner gardener, and so we're going to talk about some garlic today. And beginner by beginner, I mean, I grew up on a farm, so I was around this stuff all the time. And but personally in my adult life, this is my going into my fourth year of gardening, or a little over 4 years of gardening. So I still consider myself to be a bit beginner gardener. I'm still learning from everybody. That's why I chose to YouTube. And but we have a great time. This is a great community of people. Hey, Melanie, the moderator, what's up? It's true. You are the moderator. You need to have a T-shirt called that. Maybe we can get you one made called the moderator because that's what you are, honey. And you do really well at it. So thank you for being here with us. If you don't mind letting everybody know what zone you all are in, that would be amazing. If you don't mind sharing your state, if that's easier, if you don't know your zone, that's okay. You can share your state. You can even share your city, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm in zone 6B slash 7 ish. And so I wanted to jump on here and just talk about I've been consistently for at least a month or so now, maybe even longer, talking about fall and what you should do when you're preparing your gardens for the fall. And obviously, I'm always speaking to the beginners, but there are tons of seasoned gardeners that come in here and help us out too, because we need them to coach us, okay, on what to do. And it's a great way to get ideas, not just to be, this isn't just for beginner gardeners, but to get tons and tons of ideas of how to do things differently, or try things if something isn't working for you. So I welcome everyone, but I really do need your feedback today because I'm going to present some information, just what I know based on what I've tried to do. I'm not that successful at growing garlic, so I'm hoping to get ideas about what to do differently, maybe, and just share what I know. So I'm down for you all sharing as well, so we can learn and grow from each other. So thank you all for being here. Let's see who else is in the house. Miss Craft is in zone 7B, 8A. Okay. M. Langford says outdoors lately building tiny teardrop campers. My wife says they are so cute. I bet they are cute. That's interesting. Okay. He Miss M. Langford's from South Houston, Texas. Loves gardening. And okay, great. Thank you for stopping by, M. Langford. And he says, see you when I get home. Okay, cool. Let's see. Miss Craft. Okay, we just shared you. Playing in my yard is in zone 9B, Central Florida. Thank you for joining us. Um, Chico Wise, I've got a little gardening content with my 8-year-old autistic son. It's his therapy from Atlanta, Georgia. That is so amazing. I used to work with children that have intellectual and developmental disabilities, and I miss that work so much. They are amazing kids, amazing, amazing kids. I mean, good grief. Yeah, I learned so much. I learned so much. But gardening is helpful for everyone. It doesn't matter what the developmental disability or intellectual disability or what disability, it doesn't matter, okay, what it is. But gardening can help everyone. I really believe that gardening is therapy. It is a great way to learn a lot about yourself, but also experience a lot of sensory needs. I have sensory needs. I love to pull things. I love to, because I'm a worrier and I'm an empath, I carry a lot of stuff on my shoulders all the time, right? And because I love people, I care about people. I love to nurture. I love to give. And sometimes, though, most of us are givers, and we know what that's like. So sometimes it's just hard, and we have to cope with that. And I'm getting a lot better though, saying no and doing what I got to do. Okay, so I've learned a lot about myself this year too. That I've changed a lot in the garden. So where some things would just really cause anxiety for me, even in the garden, I've learned this year to let that stuff go. Just leave it alone. There's nothing I can do to change it, or I can start over, right? And if I don't start over, God willing, I have next year. So like gardening can teach you so many coping skills. It's ridiculous. Okay. So thank you for sharing that. Um, and plus we love it. We grow what we eat. Fresh taste is best. And that is all true. Hey, what's up, Mikey Flo? Good to see you, Mikey. Um, and so Mark Rob is in the house. Hello, welcome. So yeah, in saying that, gardening can be all kinds of things. Okay, it can look the way you want it. I was watching a supporter slash YouTuber earlier that shared a video about, does your garden have to be cute? And no, my garden doesn't have to be cute, but I want it to look cute a little bit, right? But not for the purpose of just broadcasting to the world, that I have this beautiful, luxurious garden. It's all green and it's beautiful, because that is not true. If y'all have seen my garden, y'all know I show y'all the good and the bad, okay? Y'all gonna be like, why is that piece of paper still sitting there? Because it was in that last video. She still got that cut on the ground that was in that. Yep, that's just how it is. And I do what I can. Not that I mean to leave trash on the ground. It just blows out of I have a little crate with some stuff in it that I use for seed starting. And that stuff just flies all the way. And I guess I could use something different or find something better. Okay. But I just haven't. And that's just the way it is. I'm going to show you what I do, but I'm not an expert either. So thank you all for joining me. So let's talk about garlic. Has anybody in the house tried to grow garlic? Has anybody ever tried? So I can say that I've had success, but not the success that I want. So this will be my second time growing. So I grew last year. So I kind of want to take out some of the myths, I guess, or not, maybe not myths, but misinformation that I received, and just stuff I didn't know, because so I was always anxious about it. I'm looking out the window like, oh my gosh, is it dying? Is it going to survive the winter? I don't know what it's going to do. And it was just completely going through the process that it was supposed to go through. And so I was tripping for no reason. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, Miss Craft. You're going to try it this year. Just received my starts a few days ago. So what do you mean by you just received your starts? Because this is another thing that I don't think a lot of people know is this is a head of garlic, okay? And there are cloves inside. There's a lot of them. And if you peel them back, I don't want to open this up because it's my husband's and he's going to use it for cooking. But I want him to he loves to open these and crack them. But I have another one in there. So anyway, we have another bulb of garlic, I guess, that he hasn't finished using, but I'm going to actually use that to plant. So if you have bought store-bought garlic, that's cool. Just whatever cloves you don't use, get those cloves of garlic. You know what? He'll be okay. I'm going to actually pop this open. Get those cloves of garlic that you haven't used and plant them. It's really easy to do. I don't think maybe I'll be able to do it. I don't know. But there's like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish cloves in here of garlic. So here's one. I don't know if y'all can see that. Everybody kind of knows what a clove of garlic is. So you just take that sucker out, and you want to plant it in the ground about an inch or two down. It's not very hard. I'm going to actually do another video when I get ready to plant my garlic, um, and show you all how I do it, okay, or how I learned to do it. Hey, Mama Tried Homestead, good evening. Oh my goodness, it's good to see you. Um, so you got full bulbs, okay, and so you don't necessarily have to special order them unless, because they're all different types though. So if you want a different type of garlic, then definitely you should try it and try to grow what is suitable for your zone or your climate conditions. So let me tell you what the different varieties are. Some of these I didn't even know existed. Okay. And I've been watching videos and I'm like, what? All right. So for instance, there is an elephant garlic. And it literally, I mean, if you can imagine what an elephant looks like, can you imagine what this clove of garlic is going to look like? Okay. So they're humongous. I mean, absolutely humongous. So Google or whatever you want to do, elephant garlic. If you're interested in that, figure it, see if it will work for your zone to grow it in. There's also a hard neck garlic and a soft neck garlic. And the hard neck garlic is really good to grow for the folks that are in zones that have really, I mean, like very cold winters. Okay. And I'm in zone 6B. So our winters can be cold. It can get down to the negative. So that might be something that I considered. The soft neck garlic is what you typically see in the store. Okay. And I can do pretty well with the soft neck garlic here. It grew pretty well here. But I think I might look into the hard neck. And the difference between the two, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but you also want to pay attention to how much sunlight that you typically get. Nope, I might have mixed that up with hold on, with onions, because there are long day onions and short day onions. Ha! I mixed it up. I corrected myself. So, but anyway, the garlic, you want to pay attention to the type of climate. Okay. Do you have long winters, very cold winters, that kind of thing? Miss Craft says, yes, I wanted some different varieties to try. Still thinking about getting elephants to try too. Okay, cool. And hello, Miss Christy Love. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm so good to see you. So we're just talking about garlic and the different varieties that are out there. I'm just naming a few. So we talked about elephant garlic, hard neck garlic is good for people that are growing or that want to grow in very cold winters, that have very cold winters. Soft neck garlic is typically what you see in the store, which is what I've used before in my garden because we just didn't use it all. So I just went outside and put it in some dirt. And there is also a Creole garlic. And let me show you what that looks like. Dang, my phone went to sleep. Let me show you what this Creole garlic looks like. If I can find it again. Creole garlic. Hmm. It is like a red burgundy color. Um, okay, here's a good picture. I'm gonna try to hold this up to the screen so y'all can see that. Do y'all see that? Creole garlic. Isn't that neat? That color is so beautiful. I don't know if you all could tell, but it's like a burgundy color. Never knew that existed. So, you might need to special order stuff like this because it typically isn't, in the stores. I've never seen this in the stores before. And then there's a black garlic. It blew my mind. And I'm not sure again like what zones these are good to grow in, but just letting you know there is a such thing. Look at this. I cannot believe this. This is just cracking me up. Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. There it is. Black garlic. Isn't that interesting? Hey, Suzette, what's up? Do you see this? This black garlic? Isn't that so cool? You heard black garlic is delicious. I have never tried it and never knew it existed. So I want to try it so bad. I mean, this is so dope. Look, look at this. Isn't that so cool? Oh my gosh. Like, I cannot get over it. I can't. Oh my gosh. Like, that is so dope. I love that. So, that's pretty much all the ones I know of right now. I'm sure if I don't know, maybe I could Google and find more, but those are the ones that really stuck out to me that I was like, oh my gosh, I got to share these. And so I'm excited about those. So growing garlic is not hard, apparently. You don't need a whole lot of fertilizer, if any at all. I didn't use any, and I just made sure the soil was loose. And so if you need to break it up a bit, you should do that. I guess you can add compost for anything. I mean, it will help anything. So you can add some of that. Bury in the soil 1 to 2 inches. Just make sure it's covered up. And you want the part that comes up like this, it goes you know how it kind of curves. You want it sticking up because that's where your garlic is going to blossom. And you can even see if you put the shoots are going to come out. If you put the garlic, you can tell the bottom of the clove. I wish I could really open this. I'm not strong enough. There it goes. Okay. I was like, what is going on? You can even put it in water and get the roots started. Okay, if you want to. So I love the smell. So for instance, this piece, I'm trying to get, but anyway, this is big. This is a big piece of garlic. I can't really get it off, but you can tell the bottom of the garlic. It's kind of round, and that's the root end. So if you put it in just a little bit of water, roots will grow fairly quickly from that, and then you can go plant if you want to. If you're not sure which side goes up and which side goes down, but it's usually the butt, the yeah, the root part down in the water, and just a little bit. You don't need to cover it, and you don't want to cover it all up with water, just enough to fill the bottom of the cup or whatever, your tray or whatever you're using, because you don't want it to rot the rest of the garlic clove. And then the roots will go pretty quickly. Then you can go plant, or you can just put that sucker right in the soil and water it in. um Winter. When do you typically plant garlic? So in your zones, if you don't mind, again, typing in the chat your zone and then when you typically plant your garlic. I'm in zone 6B, and typically I last year I planted my garlic in July. Now, that was a big no-no. It was too hot and all kinds of other things happened. Now, I had a garlic bulb that actually formed, but it was so little. Okay. It was so little. So this year, after doing some more research, and I love the Midwest Gardener. If y'all have never followed his channel before or heard of him, check it out. He is very cool. He's in my zone as well. And so, but for zone 6B this year, I can plant garlic anytime between September and December. You really want to get it in the ground before the snow comes. Okay. So if it snows in your area, that's when you want to really get it in the ground. I'm going to plant October. Okay. So next month, I will plant my garlic. Okay. And so I will show you all how to do that. So Seth said that she's planting in October. Good. Just Googled, and black garlic is just raw garlic aged for up to 60 days. Huh. Okay, good to know. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I didn't know if it like if it grew that way or what happened or how they did it, but thank you so much for that. So the black garlic is just raw garlic. It's aged for up to 60 days. Interesting. Interesting. Miss Christy Love is in zone 6A, 6B, and she plants her garlic in mid to late September, depending on the weather. So I don't want it to be too hot. If it's above 85 degrees, I'm not going to do it because I learned some things last year and all my garlic didn't make it. Okay. So when I planted in July, definitely did not. It started coming out beautifully in the house. Then when I transitioned it outside, like any other, I thought I should do it like any other indoor plant, give it some time to transition. And then I just went ahead, I did that and I direct sowed, and there was no difference to me. They all didn't, most of them died off. I had four that was remaining, and out of the four, only one actually developed a bulb. And so I planted them all though in July of last year. So this year, I'm going to wait till the temperatures get a lot cooler, below 85 degrees, and I will plant. Okay. And it has to be 85 consistently for 7 days for me. Okay. For me. So I'm going to do that, plant them out. And then another thing that caused some anxiety for me was noticing that as it got cooler and we experienced the frost, we experienced another frost. The temperatures continued to drop at night. That the garlic was dying. Okay, so the shoots have come out. It's those green, pretty shoots that are coming out of the ground. Almost looks like onions a little bit. And they were starting to die off. I was like, oh no, they're not going to survive, right? But no, this is the process of garlic. Okay, as it gets colder, it will start to look like it's dying off a little bit. You'll still see some of the green, but it does start to look like the shoots are dying. So um you don't have to worry about that. That's the process. And you also don't have to water. Garlic is one of those things people keep saying in several videos. Everybody's referred to garlic as the leave alone crop. Okay. So once you plant it, just leave it alone. Right. And I would say if you plant it and temperatures are still fairly high, like above 85 degrees, then you may want to give it some water at least once a week. But after that, once the frost comes, once you start to get rain and snow and things like that, it actually waters, nature waters for you. So you don't have to go outside and water these things, especially during the wintertime because the snow's on top of them. So it's pretty cool. And that's what I did last year. I just left it alone. I put a lot of leaves on top of the garlic, just to kind of help a little bit with the roots or whatever. But I was told that I didn't need to do that. I did it anyway just to see what would happen, and it didn't hurt anything. So, I mean, that's just another tip. This is really interesting. You can use a slow cooker or a rice cooker for the aging process. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into that. I just Googled real quick varieties of garlic because I was just researching on my own, and so that is kind of interesting. I was like, how do you get garlic to age other than the only thing I know to cure garlic is, a lot of people braid the garlic up and let it dry that way so they can cook with it. But I've never heard of aging the garlic that way. So that's interesting. Use a rice cooker or a slow cooker. Hmm, that is interesting. That is quite interesting. So again, expect some dieback from the garlic um, as it gets colder outside. And when the spring comes around, when you start to see that weather coming up again, the temperatures coming up, spring is hitting or is nearby, the garlic cloves will or the shoots will turn green and continue to grow. It's just they survive the winter. There's nothing that you really need to do. And then you should be able to harvest. When can I expect to harvest? I've heard a couple of things. I've heard in the spring and I've heard in May is a good time to harvest. So April, May-ish is a good time to harvest garlic. Am I wrong for those of you that live in zone 6B7 that have grown garlic before? Anybody have any tips for that? When to harvest garlic? Okay, that would be good to know. Um, thespruceeats.com. Okay. Okay, I'll stop hijacking now. Thank you. Okay. No, thank you for that website. Um, let's see. And I don't let's see. Okay. So anybody have any tips on when to harvest garlic if you live in zone 6B7? Anybody? For those of you that live in other zones, it's okay if you post as well. So other people that live in your zone can know when you typically harvest your garlic. Um, the other thing that I had mentioned was pests. So pretty much there's not a whole lot of pests that like garlic, like the smell of garlic. There's not a whole lot of pests that love the smell of onions and peppers. Okay. So like when if you're making a concoction for your garden to keep the pests away, I've seen 1,001 ways to make a garlic solution to keep the pest away. I would just say that just test spray stuff before you spray it directly on your plants. Whatever it is, just if you're trying it for the first time, you should probably test spray it. So spray a few things, spray it a little bit on the bottom part of the plant, wait a few days, like, 2 or 3 days, and see what it turns out to look like. And that way you can know if you need to adjust it, maybe add more water, or whatever. But don't ever spray a whole plant with some solution that you just made. Okay. It's real easy to trust people. I mean, and I trust people. I want, there's no reason for me not to. So I want to trust that, the hydrogen peroxide solution works for blight, or helps my tomatoes look healthier, or whatever it is. But it's not about trusting people. It's about, you live in a different climate. Your weather's different. The humidity's different, and so you just want to test spray stuff. Okay. So just spray the bottom part of your plant, a few leaves, wait a couple of days and see what happens before you just go willy-nilly all over the garden spraying this stuff. Okay. But garlic tends to be one of those things that pests just don't like. I mean, they just really don't like it. They don't like the smell. They don't like the odor. Hey, DD, what's going on? Suzette says rosemary and garlic together. Yep, yep. They really don't. And I've made a little concoction of like pepper, cayenne pepper, garlic, a little bit of oil, soap, water, and sprayed it around my garden before. But I sprayed it around the perimeter instead of directly on my plants. And it seemed to help. It seemed to help. But again, you should always test spray. Always test spray. Hey, hey. Any ideas? No one posted in the chat about when you typically harvest garlic. So, in your zone, just put your zone in when you typically harvest garlic if you've ever planted before. So, Seth says a lot of time in my garden, the pests are in my soil, so I spray close to the soil. Yes, that's what I mean by the perimeter of the plant. Because a lot of those things like to crawl in the soil, on top of the soil, under the soil, whatever. And it really did help. It really did help. So I would suggest that you do that. So garlic typically, once you see that your garlic is really, really growing and it looks well, when you get close to harvest time, you will see some dieback, starting from the bottom of the plant on up. And so typically if you see the shoots of the garlic laying over and they're brown and dead, you know that you're close to harvesting or it is time to harvest. Sometimes the garlic will produce scapes, which are flowers. And I meant to have a picture up for that. So let me find that. Um, and my understanding is they are edible as well. Ooh, garlic. I can't spell. So let me show you what those may look like. I'll show you this picture. So these are garlic scapes, and you can see the bulb, that white area. is the bulb where the flower will come out. And I heard those are edible. And everybody, I've heard people say different things, like they want to cut them off, okay, because or they let them stay. So you have to do some more research for yourself to decide whether or not you want to cut those off or not. Okay, I was trying to find one that actually garlic flowers. Let's look at that. Mm, yeah, I've seen them like this before. What they look like. Let's see. Dee Dee said, Miss Christy Love, zone 6A, 6B says I normally harvest in April or May. Okay, Dee Dee said that, and she's in zone 5B/6A. I can always hear your voice when I say that, Dee Dee. I harvest when the blades turn brown. Okay. Susette says, me too. When the neck starts, usually I see my bulb popping out. Yep. When you see your bulb popping out, and a lot of people too, when they see the bulb popping out of the soil, they move back some of the soil. Okay, to give the bulb just a little bit more room to grow. And I also heard people do that with onions as well. Um, Let's see. Dee Dee says the flower is a large cluster of garlic seeds that look like onion sets. There you go. So, yeah. Thank you, Dee Dee, for that. But that's what you typically see. I don't know if this is it says onion flowers and garlic flowers, but they all pretty much look the same. You're right. So that's what it looks like before it bursts open. Yep. Um, what else? Anything else you all that we should know about garlic? Growing garlic, planting garlic, using garlic to relieve pest pressure. Anything else you all can think of? Hey, Green Organic Love. Good to see you. We're talking about garlic, how to plant it, when to plant it. Share what zone you all are in. Dee Dee shared what zone she's in. Miss Craft shared what zone. Green Organic Love, share what zone you are in so others in the chat can see, or others viewing the video can see. Mama Tried Homestead, are you still there? Okay, Green Organic Love is in zone 9B. Yep. So Seth said it's good for your health. Garlic is good for your health. Any Dee Dee, I know the whole catch phrase for your name, your channel name, Dee Dee's Farm C. And one of your goals with your garden is to grow a garden that can be used for medicinal purposes. Do you have any insight on how garlic can help your health? I keep hearing people say that they cure garlic by braiding it up and letting it dry for 6 months. I use it fresh, no problem. Yes, you can use it fresh. I've heard that. I've never used garlic from my garden fresh because I haven't been that successful. I planted like 10 cloves. 4 survived, or 4 actually came up, didn't rot. Okay, some of them rotted. Some of them got like ants was all over them. So some of them, 4 actually survived, and I got only got 1 to form a bulb. The others rotted. The other 3 rotted too. So Dee Dee said that she was going to share. Hey Stephanie, what's up? Suzette says you can lower your blood pressure, like garlic lowers your blood pressure. I'm not telling anybody what to do to help your health, but I mean, of course, um, garlic can be used for all kinds of different reasons. So I just would like for you all to share those in the chat if you don't mind. Green Organic said, see, I thought the way you see it in the grocery store was how it grows. Yeah. Nope. I mean, it does grow that way. I mean, the clove of garlic that we get from the grocery store, I mean, it does look this way when you do pull it out of the ground with dirt on it, but there's green shoots, okay, that come out. Yeah. Yep. It's interesting. Like I'm trying to be so intentional about teaching my daughter that the store does not this is not where our food comes from. We come to the store to purchase food because it's all in one place. Okay, just trying to make it real simple for her. It's all in one place, so we come to the store to purchase our food sometimes, but the store doesn't make the food, and so that was my whole mission, including her in the garden. She wanted to, but I really wanted her to understand that if it wasn't for farmers, if it wasn't for our pollinators, we wouldn't have food accessible to us in such large quantities like we do at the store. And so she knows now that all of our food comes from a seed, or most of our food does, and people have to grow this, and that's how it's supplied to us. Uh, and so backyard gardeners in the house. What is going on? What is up? I take garlic peels for heart circulation health, Miss Kraft says. Wow, I didn't know there was a garlic peel. I really didn't. Um, any other ways you all use garlic to help your health? We're also talking about the best ways or the best time to plant garlic, depending on what zone you live in. Backyard Gardener, I believe, is also in Zone 6B. Backyard Gardener, have you ever grown garlic before? Stephanie says that she loves growing garlic. Yeah, I hear people keep calling it the leave alone crop, right? Once you plant it, just leave it alone. And that was attractive to me because I'm so busy that I want us to have a garden, but if I can have it be the garden and be low maintenance, that would be amazing. Uh, Stephanie Valadez, what zone are you in? Did you already share that? Dee Dee says that garlic is antibiotic, antifungal. It's a blood thinner, counters cough and respiratory infections, lowers blood pressure and cholesterol, and supports good intestinal flora or flow. Okay, Stephanie Valdez is in zone 9A. Mus Fuller, what's going on? Hey y'all, she says, I've never grown garlic before, but would love to in the future. Yep, it's Flora. Thank you. It's really good. It's really easy to grow. I just want to be more successful at it. As far as planting, I mean, good grief, there's nothing to it. I'm gonna do a video. There's tons of videos out there on how to grow garlic and how to plant it. I know you all can go look at those because I watched them too. That's how I learned. But I will do something specific to that in next month. I plan to plant next month. In my zone, they say I'm in zone 6B, 7A, and they say that I can plant now between September and December, but I'm going to plant in October and try that. Last year, I planted in July, and there was a whole lot of reasons why I shouldn't have done that. But so I'm going to try October. And let's see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. But that's pretty much all I had. You all, thank you all for joining me. I thought I would just take a shot at it. It's kind of the time around the time where everybody's traveling home from work. And I was like, I probably won't get a whole lot of people in the house, but I appreciate you all for being here. Dee Dee says I put mine in the fridge, the bottom drawer into spring, and mine turned out fine. Cool. Yeah, if you don't mind, just you all, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. Uh, y'all not gonna let me go. Let me see. Stephanie says I put my peeled garlic in a jar of honey, to use when I feel a tickle in my throat. Uh-huh. Interesting. It keeps the cold away. Yep. My mother-in-law loves onions, and she swears That's the reason why she doesn't get sick often, because she eats a lot of onions. And that, and oh, I've heard other people, old folks say that, eat your onions and garlic. And I'm like, why would you want to do that? But they don't literally mean take a bite out of an onion and eat it. I definitely couldn't do that. I love onions and I like garlic. I don't love garlic. I like garlic. It just depends on what's going on. But I like it in food. I don't like a whole lot of it. Um but yes, the old folk be getting it right. Okay. And my mother-in-law swears that that's why she doesn't have a whole lot of colds, because she eats a lot of onions. Onions on everything. Beans, salads, greens, everything. Sandwiches. She puts an onion. She got to have an onion. Um yes, believe the old folk. You are right. Uh let's see. Miss Fuller's Full Roller says, I love onions too, which is why I need to find out the best way to grow them in my area. I spent a lot of money on them. Yes, it wasn't a huge fail, but it was a fail. Like I consider it a fail. I got a little bit of red onion to grow. I planted a crap load of sweet onions and it just all went to crap. So I want to get real good at growing onions too. Uh, let's see, garlic a day, keep the doctor away. Well, I know some people that can just take a clove and pop it in their mouth. I just can't do that. Woo. Mm-mm. That's me, onions on damn near everything. Yeah, that's how she does. Now I love sweet onion, but I really like red onions. I really do. I prefer those over the white onions or the yellow onions. But I really do like onion. I like onion. I'm just not gonna like pick it up and bite it like an apple. I'm just not doing that. Bear fruit, did you plant seeds or sets? Uh, like onions? Did I plant onion seeds or the onion seeds? Those are the most difficult seeds to germinate. Onion seeds. And yes, I tried to clip them. I tried to soak them. I got 3 out of 10 to germinate, and only one survived. And I did harvest that onion. I just didn't show everybody. I harvested it. It was small, but I mean, it's a win, I guess. A win is a win, but I just want to get way better at it. The sweet onions, I had sets. The yellow sweet onions, I had sets. And I somebody told me that I buried them too deep. Like I didn't have to bury them so deep to plant them above ground. So next time when I plant them, I'm gonna plant them above ground and see if I can get them to work out a little bit better. Angela's busy bees and gardening homestead is in the house. What's up? I can't eat raw garlic, Miss Craft says, but I can tear up some roasted bugs. I really love them roasted. I love garlic cooked in anything, pretty much anything. I just don't like to be overly powered by garlic. I don't need all of that. I can pretty much taste it. It doesn't take a lot. Now my husband loves it. Um, and my red onion sets were a fail this year too. Yeah, I just didn't do too well with onions. So I don't know. We'll see. Thank you, Dee. Let's see. Um, so yeah, we're talking about garlic. That's pretty much all I got. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all for joining me at the house. I just wanted to spend more time with y'all because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be with y'all on Thursday night, which is when I typically go live. So thank you all for joining me. I hope that you all have a blessed day, a happy day, a day better than yesterday, whatever it is that you need. Y'all know I love y'all. Peace.